Hey, this is Troy from Playtime Engineering, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the record button to record your own melodies and drum loops. This is the most advanced feature in the myTRACKS, and it really deserves its own video to really explain all the details. Everything about this video is going to be based on this one record button, but what's interesting is that even though it's just one button, there's a ton of engineering that's gone into having a whole bunch of stuff happen when you press that button. So let's get into it. So first, let's do a little review of some of the basics here. The myTRACKS has different sets you can select, and when you select a set and load it, basically all of your pads here are going to have two functions. So in the purple mode here, this is the note mode. So every pad is going to play a note or a drum sound if you're on the drum track. Then you hit the mode button, you go into the blue mode, and this is the clip mode. So in this mode, whatever you select, every pad is going to have a little melody that plays or a drum loop. So you can select different melodies to play here. So right now we're just playing the built-in melodies that come built in while you are, that come built into the sets. So with the record button, you can record your own melodies and your own drum loops and save them into the myTRACKS. So it's really powerful and really fun. So let's review a few things about what's going on when you, just a few basics when you're recording these loops. The first thing to know is that everything in the myTRACKS is based on 4-bar loops. So when you hit play here and select some things to play, some clips to play, it is playing, each of these clips are 4 bars long with 4 beat bars. So what does that mean exactly? So if we count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, you do that up to 4, that will be your 4-bar loop. So let's go ahead and listen here. So we're going to hit play just on 2 existing clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Then it's going to repeat. So you have those 4 bars to work with to record your own clips. And when you do recording, it's important to get a tempo reference. So you could basically just turn everything off and hit record, but the problem is if you play something with no tempo reference, it's not going to play well with other clips that you might want to launch with the clip that you recorded. So there's 2 ways to get a tempo reference. One of the ways is to basically just turn on a drum track. Turn on a drum track here. So that gives you a tempo reference. But if you don't want that, or if you are recording a drum loop, you can hold down the record button, and when you hold it down, it gives you a metronome. So using any of those 2 methods is how you get a good tempo source for your recorded track. So what can you record? So you have all these notes here to work with on each of your tracks. There are 5 notes to work with on each track, and you can octave shift. So if you want to, if you like these notes but you want them in a different octave, just hold down this instrument key and you hear that octave shift down. Hold it down again, that'll octave shift down twice. You hold it down again, you get an octave shift up, a double octave shift up. So that's some ways you can basically get yourself some different notes to work with. So when you're recording, when you hit this record button, it is going to, let's go ahead and get a drum loop going. We're going to go into clip mode, we're going to activate a drum loop. And we're going to slow this down just a little bit, slow our tempo down. You can adjust the tempo to get whatever tempo that you like. And so now we have that tempo reference, which is good. And one thing I like to do is when you're recording is you can record, you can put notes across any track, and that's fine. But if you record on one track at a time, it gives you a little bit more flexibility and determine whether you really like what's on that track. So let's go ahead and do it. So we got a beat going. We can kind of practice a little bit. Maybe just kind of like think of some melodies we want to play here. So we are going to tap this record button because we don't need the metronome right now. So, as I was saying before, these are 4-bar loops, so we just record ourselves a nice 4-bar loop there. Now, there's 2 things you can do at this point. If you don't like what you recorded, you can hit the stop button. And when you do that, what you just recorded is basically discarded. So if you recorded something you didn't like it, then it's going to be basically thrown away. So let's go ahead and do this again. We'll hit the record button. Oh, we got the metronome going there. That's fine. So now it's we have that nice little melody recorded. So if you want to like save that into a clip, we're now going to press the record button, and basically that has put what you recorded on track 1 here into the first clip there. So let's say you did want to record across multiple tracks, you can do that. So we're going to go ahead and hit the record button there again, and we're going to put some stuff down on 2 other tracks. So now we have a loop going on the track 2 there. Now we can go ahead and do something on track 3 also. So now we've recorded things on track 2 and 3. So now we will hit the record button to commit those to the memory there. Now if we go into the clip mode, we will see that these have been recorded on track 2 and 3. So these are 2 clips there now that you can use. Now you can still record more on any of those tracks, and it will just put what you recorded into the next slots here. So let's go ahead and try it. Why don't we'll turn these off for now. Hit that record button. And let's get some recording on, let's do all 3, why not? So now we recorded some things on all 3 tracks. We're going to hit the record button to commit it to the memory. And let's hit this mode button. Now you'll see that what you've recorded has been dropped down here into the next 3 clips. So what's fun for performance now is that you can go back and forth between the clips that we just recorded and the ones that we recorded earlier. What we did there is we held those down so it didn't change until the 4-bar into the 4-bar loop. You can mix and match your different melodies. It's pretty fun. So let's talk about recording your own drum loop. So for recording your drum loop, it's pretty much the same thing. We're going to go ahead and turn that drum clip off. Let's just hit record here. We're going to hold the record down so we get the metronome. And we can tap in some drums. Here's a little trick in the drum mode. So normally you only have these 5 notes to work with. The 5 drum sounds to work with. One thing you can do though is you can hold down the mode key, and that puts you into drum machine mode. And that's basically going to extend all of your drum sounds from the drum track across all the 5 pads. So it's just think of this one drum track being extended across all the pads there. So now we can find some other sounds we might want to add. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit the record button there, commit that to memory. Now you'll see we have this new drum clip that we recorded. We can turn off all of our other clips and just hear the drums that we recorded. Your different drum kits still work here, so you can select different drum kits with what you just recorded. You can hear all the different sounds that are assigned to the different notes with the different drum kits. So that's pretty fun, and you can do the same. You know, the myTRACKS is designed so the melodies and the instruments are always kept separate. So we can, launch. We can select, have the same melody and have different notes for it here. You know, a nice little bass sound there. So it's important to remember that what we have saved here, all these clips that we just recorded, they're in sort of a temporary memory. So they're there, but if you really want to commit them, really want to save them, you want to save what we recorded here into this set. And to do that, you hold down the Save Set button. So you get the lights there. So now what you've recorded is committed here into the set. You can pick a different set and then come back to it. And it's going to be right there waiting for you, just like you recorded. So that's pretty fun. Now, what we've done through all this time, we've had quantization on. And what quantization is, it basically helps, it automatically adjusts all the notes that you've recorded to really get right onto the 16th notes to make sure your sound is really tight. But if you want complete freedom in your timing, so if you don't want that quantization, there is a configuration setting, and it turns off quantization. So in the manual, it describes this in detail, but you want to turn your device off, hold down the mode button, turn it back on. Now you're in configuration mode. If you look in the manual, you'll see that for here, this controls your quantization. We're going to hit that once so it turns green. Hold down the load set. So now that configuration is committed to memory. So if you come back, you'll see that configuration is always going to be saved there. So let's hear the difference. So let's go ahead and try recording something now without the quantization. We'll go ahead and turn off our other guys here. Oh, we're going to turn this off here. So we'll hit the record button. So now those notes that I recorded, they're not quantized. So they're pretty much exactly how I played them. Kind of fun. It's, it's sort of a personal preference as to whether you want that quantization or not. I think that's just about all I wanted to share here. Like I said, recording your own sounds, this is really a powerful part of the myTRACKS, and we really encourage you to explore it. If you have any questions, give us an email at info@blipblocks.com, and we're always happy to help. Thanks for watching.